Did you know that 90% of startups in the US fail? The surprising part is not because of lack of funding, talent, or a great idea. It's because of one simple mistake that nearly every entrepreneur makes. After landing a 6-figure salary my junior year and scaling my business to 7 figures, I learned firsthand what this mistake is and how to actually avoid it. And in today's video, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to start a software startup, be it a SaaS, an agency, a consultancy, whatever the case, from the ground up. But before we dive in, how did I find this simple mistake and how do you actually avoid it? Well, to get the answer to that, I need to take you back to when I first started my business. When I first launched AB Analytics, I was lost in the sea of possibilities. I remember sitting at my desk, surrounded by notebooks filled with ideas, trying to decide which path to take. Everyone, social media gurus, books, seminars, mentors, they all kept telling me, you need to find a niche. The riches are in the niches. I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to pick just one niche and miss out on clients from other areas. It was like being at a buffet with endless options. Why choose one dish when you can try them all, right? So I decided to serve many industries, hoping to get lots of clients and make lots and lots of money. Casting a wide net seemed like the logical thing to do because if you want to catch more fish, right, just cast a bigger net. But after months of $0 in cash flow, reality hit me hard. I was frustrated and confused. Why wasn't this working? I had followed all the advice given to me, and yet I had nothing to show for it. Then it dawned on me. I was so focused on trying to serve everyone that I ended up serving no one. I hadn't taken the time to figure out what problem I was actually solving. It was like being a doctor, eager to help, but prescribing medicine without knowing what's wrong with the patient in the first place. And this was the simple mistake. The one that leads many startups to fail and the one that almost led me to fail. People jump into creating solutions without first understanding the real problems that need solving. I realized that the key to building a successful software business isn't just about picking a niche or having a ton of good ideas. It's all about identifying a real, pressing problem that people are eager to solve. Furthermore, not all problems are created equal. Some are just minor annoyances at best, while others are big pain points that people are desperate to fix. And while everyone might say, focus on choosing a niche, that can be quite misleading. Because it's not just about narrowing down your audience. It's about zeroing in on a significant problem within that audience. Without addressing a real problem, even the most specialized niche won't lead you to any success. Okay, so that's great and all. You understand the importance of finding a problem, but how do you actually find a problem worth solving? With that, I'll have to introduce you to the idea of a pain index. Think of it as a scale that measures how much discomfort or inconvenience a problem causes. And on this pain index, imagine the following scenario. You're a software engineer working on a large code base with multiple teams. And merging code changes often lead to conflicts, and debugging these conflicts take hours out of your day, and it's extremely frustrating and it eats into your productivity, and sometimes you have to stay overtime. And now imagine that there's a tool that handles merges seamlessly, automatically detects conflicts, and even suggests fixes. Wouldn't that make your life so much easier? You would be so high up on the pain index, but all of a sudden, you'll have no pain at all because the tool solved it. And that's why there's so many tools for version control and continuous integration. They tackle a significant pain point in software development. On the flip side, you don't see many startups creating a calculator app. Why? Because the problem it solves isn't big enough. There are already plenty of solutions out there and the pain point isn't nearly as significant. So, to build a successful software startup, start by identifying a big problem that not only are people eager to solve, but are also willing to pay for. And here's how you can do it. Walk into your local grocery stores or bakeries, law firms, dental clinics, everything, and just ask about their biggest challenges. One of my first clients that I got was a bakery store, and they needed help with inventory management. They couldn't forecast demand properly. And that was one of the first things that we did for them. You can also talk to people in your network, reach out to friends, family, colleagues. You maybe have a friend working in healthcare who might mention some inefficiencies maybe in patient data management as an example. But still, utilize your network. You reflect on your own frustrations as well. Think about the tools or processes that frustrate you in your daily work, right? Or even just your daily life in general. And last but not least, listen and observe. Pay attention to the challenges that people face in everyday life. But now that you've identified a problem worth solving, what's next? Well, you need to create a solution for it. But here's where many entrepreneurs mess up. Think of yourself as a tailor. You don't just make a suit and hope it fits someone, right? Instead, you take measurements, you understand the client's preferences, and then you craft a suit that fits them perfectly. Similarly, in business, you need to collaborate with your customers to create a solution that truly meets their needs. The solution shouldn't be something you decide in isolation. It should be something that your customer helps shape. And while most people tell you to start a SaaS or software agency, create a solution, and then find your ideal customer, that's not how you should do it. Because how do you know that the solution you have is what your customer is looking for? You need to work it the other way around. Based on the problem, create the ideal solution with input from your potential customers. Say you're dealing with older folks who are not too tech savvy, then a full-blown complicated SaaS might not be the best option to their problem, right? Therefore, to create your solution, you first need to consider the complexity of the problem that you're addressing. You need to ask yourself, who is the ideal person who has this problem? Or maybe who is this ideal business if you have a business-to-business offer, right? What's their age, their profession? What's their tech proficiency like if you want to create a SaaS, for example? Where are they located? Are they in urban areas, rural communities, any specific countries? What do they do? What are their habits and preferences? Do they prefer maybe mobile apps over desktop applications? Are they comfortable with online payments? Do they value simplicity over functionality? You need to understand who the person is, and once you do, you can think of a solution tailored to that individual. And now that you have a problem and a solution, it's time to think about client acquisition. And let me tell you right off the bat, forget about paid traffic at this stage, especially if you're just starting out. What I'm going to show you builds way more trust, lets you get immediate feedback, and has a higher conversion rate. But what is it? And why should you forget about paid traffic? Because you need to think of client acquisition like planting seeds in a garden. You can't just throw seeds on the ground and expect a bountiful harvest overnight, can you? You need to plant them carefully, nurture them, water them, and give them time to actually grow. Because when you're starting out, personal connections and relationships are far more valuable. All you need to get off the ground and well into 6 figures a month is in-person client acquisition. Building relationships with people, relying on referrals, and continuously improving your product or service is all you need to get to 7 figures a year. Trust me, I've been there. When I was promoting my business, I didn't spend a dime on advertising initially. Instead, I visited local businesses in person and offered demos. I asked the business owner to refer me to other business owners that he knew of. I attended industry events where I met numerous potential clients. I utilized my own network to help me find potential clients, and so on and so forth. This approach led to a chain reaction. Each satisfied client referred me to others, and my client base grew organically. Think of yourself as the local celebrity. Some of you might be thinking, I'm not a salesperson or I don't like approaching people. I get it. It can be intimidating, no doubt about that. But remember, you're not selling. You're offering a solution to a problem. And if you truly, genuinely believe in your product or service that you're offering, and you know that it can help others, then sharing it becomes a service and not a sales pitch. And you'll be surprised by the amount of 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs local to your area that will be more than willing to go on a 10 to 15 coffee meeting with you. There's a certain bond to a local tribe, a local environment, to a local zip code. Just go out there and talk to your local business owners. Ask them about the challenges they're facing. Try to see if you can somehow be of use to them. But really, there's so many 6, 7, maybe even 8 figure business owners in your area that they'll be more than willing to have 5, 10, 15-minute conversation with you. And all it takes is that one yes. So let's recap. Identify a problem worth solving, create a customer-centric solution, and focus on relationship-based client acquisition. Remember, the critical mistake that 90% of startups make is choosing the wrong problem to solve, so they fail at step 1. Starting a software startup isn't about having the flashiest product or the most funding. It's all about solving meaningful problems and adding real value to people's lives. And if you want to learn how to do exactly that, add real value to people's lives with a business from A to Z, then you need to watch this video next. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, keep pushing boundaries.